concepts of DRC, DINR and quants, which will help you fast track your preparation, cover up your concepts, quick revision sessions and last minute hacks. तो डू एनरोल फॉर इट, इसका लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिल जाएगा. ओके, चलिए गाइस, आज का ये है हमारा पैसेज. ओके, सो द पैसेज टुडे इज ऑन ब्रांडिंग. ओके, सो इट्स वेरी नॉमिनल प्राइस हियर. आपको मतलब करेंट प्राइस क्या है एक बार जाके चेक करना पड़ेगा, प्लस यू नो द कोड फैक्टर एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. तो एक बार जाके चेक करो, बहुत ही अच्छा होगा. सर्विस वॉल्यूम चेंज में नहीं खुल गई. तो एक बहुत ही नॉमिनल सा प्राइस है, यू कैन गो अहेड एंड चेक इट. ओके, बट ये रिवाइज होता रहता है, तो इसलिए जल्दी से एनरोल कर इट. ओके, राइट, कम ऑन गाइस, लेट्स स्टार्ट. Passage is clear? Yes. This is the first slide. Okay, this is the second slide. And the questions that we are going to do today are based on optional aptitude, they are based on tone, they are based on critical reasoning. Okay, good level of questions. So, चलिए पहले शुरू करते हैं. I'll give you some time to read the passage. There are 3 paragraphs, 2 on the first slide, 1 on the second slide. So 3 paragraphs है. Quickly read करो. Every para has to be summarized. And try skimming and scan. Okay, blur आ रहा है passage.
जी ब्लर तो आ रहा है.
1 minute, let me check why is it so. Okay, now it's clear.
हाँ.
Okay, hopefully अब clear है guys. Try कीजिए. Yes, now clear. चलो. Come on everyone, first passage on your screen. चलो.
There's something strange going on in branding land. Even इसको बड़ा करना तो ठीक है. अच्छा, ऐसा करना कोई खास तक नहीं है. ऐसा करना तो ऐसा गाइस, लाइक करो, सेशन को सब्सक्राइब करो. लाइक करो गाइस, कमेंट करो, शेयर करो. ओ गाइस, शाबाश भाई, शाबाश. यार शिवम भाई, हाल चाल कैसे तुम्हारे, बताओ. ओके ओके भाई, किस चीज़ की तैयारी चल रही है तुम्हारी? कैट की चल रही है? ओपी ओपी भाई. भाई लाइक भी कर दो. ओपी तो ठीक है, लाइक भी कर दो. Study by retail industry tracking firm and PD letters, even strong names rarely translated into much power. 50 फॉलो करा तो भाई चैनल तुम अपना कमेंट करो तो मैं देख लूँगा। लाइक तो करो भाई। Another remarkable study found that just 4% of consumers are continually looking for a better deal. गाइस भाई का चैनल लाइक करो और सब्सक्राइब करो शिवम भाई का अपने। भाई भाई हो कहाँ से तुम शिवम? शिवम भाई कहाँ से हो कमेंट करो। Consumers are continually looking a better deal, opening the doors for companies to introduce rather than of money launch new clever logo into a world of durable brands and loyal customers, but because consumers are more promiscuous and fickle than ever, established brands are vulnerable and new ones have a real chance of succeeding for at least a little while. The obsession with brands paradoxically demonstrates their weakness. क्या हो गया? A single biggest explanation for fragile brand is the swelling strength of the consumer. We see a pronounced jump in the amount of information available about goods and services. It's not just bellwethers like Consumers Union and JD Power, established authorities that unquestionable say people buying decisions, but also the crash of merchants, websites, and message board or bots scrutinizing products. Consumers have also become more demanding, even as the quality and businesses are now dealing with buyers. गाइस भाई के चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो, फॉलोअर्स बढ़ा दो इसके। देखो भाई तुम्हारा हम कमेंट कर दिए।
Come on. first passage. Come on, everyone. Next, yes, it's related to branding. Okay, shall I take you to the next slide? Yes, done? Okay, come on.
Some industries are suffering more than others. Consumers electronics quality has risen across harder to discuss on manufacturing has commodified. Most of today's computers, equipment, television screens, and stereos are made by a small handful of contract manufacturers and then slapped with a logo before hitting store labs. Store shelves. That doesn't mean that making a better Gizmo, no, Gizmo no longer matters of genuinely innovative products is more than other best way of to capture market share, but savvy consumers are no longer willing to pay a high premium for an otherwise identical product just because it has a fancy nameplate. Okay, लाइक करो गाइस, सेशन को सब्सक्राइब करो। ऐसे मैं इस टाइम पे लाइव आता हूँ मॉर्निंग में, आप इसको देख सकते हो ऐसे कंटिन्यूसली। इससे आपकी कार्ड की प्रिपरेशन की प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगी। समझे गाइस? गाइस गाइस गाइस, यहीं पे it would be a waste
Okay,
of money to
done,
launch a clever
everyone,
logo
with
into
the
a world of
passage.
durable brands and loyal customers. Which of the following
Quickly, you
best
want me to go to the
describes the
previous
author's
slide?
attitude towards the statement
आप एक बार थोड़ा सा पीछे चले जाइए वीडियो में.
waste of money? Sure.
I'll wait till everybody's done, and then I'll take you to the question. Okay. The first question, please go back to the passage and check where the line is given. You have to describe the author's attitude towards the said statement. First, decide whether the author agrees or disagrees, and then decide the extent of agreement and disagreement. So I will take you back to the passage for the first question. Okay, here it is. Yes.
वही लिखा था। तो इस लाइन से क्या करें गाइस, आप भी बताओ इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है। जूम करें, क्लियर दिख रहा है? हाँ दिख तो रहा है क्लियर आपको। हाँ बताओ गाइस, आप भी कमेंट करो इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है। तो क्लेवर बात किया है, लॉन्च ऑफ क्लेवर लोगों डिलीवर करते हैं बिकॉज कस्टमर्स आर मोर प्रोमिसियस एंड पिकल देम। गाइस कमेंट प्लीज, इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है। ब्रांड एंड लॉयल कस्टमर्स।
Okay, this is the line. You have to judge whether the author agrees with it or does he disagree with it. If he agrees, somewhat completely, disagrees, somewhat completely. Okay, so what do you think? What's the answer? See,
गाइस बताओ इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है। ये भाई अगर कस्टमर लॉयल हो तो वेस्ट ऑफ मनी तो नहीं होगा। डिसएग्री, सी ऑप्शन है ठीक।
and Mallikarjun says say A. What about the others? Come on. Question is here. Author's attitude towards the said statement. A. Okay. Or if you want to, the popular opinion is A. I'll just write down your answers here. Later I will explain if it's right, wrong. Okay, A. Chaliye. Second question. Which of the following exemplifies
Which of the following best example is the paradox of branding as a brand? बेस्ट कौन कर रहा है? Kellogg's tried a test in imagery caps. गाइस लाइक करो सेशन को, अगर अच्छा चल रहा है, सही लग रहा है आपको तो सब्सक्राइब भी करो। ब्रांड्स एंड कंज्यूमर ब्रांड्स Kellogg's China make their own cheap but nice designers snobs. Best branded, this is
the paradox of branding as it is presented in the passage. Okay, now this is a critical reasoning question. Specifically, it's a parallel reasoning question. Okay, passage में Zara, Kellogg's, H&M, Cyberhome, Apple is not mentioned, but you have to take the idea in the passage and see which option exemplifies this. Come on.
तो पैरा महंगा है तो हमस पता चलेगा नहीं जो है।
Come on, everyone. What is the paradox of branding? Okay. Hello, Darshana. I'll take you back to the passage here. Paradox देख लो एक बार कहाँ दिया है. This is the paradox, right? Come on. There are many other lines also where this paradox, यहाँ पर भी the word paradox is given. So, the obsession with brands demonstrates their weakness.
ये देखो यहाँ लिखा हुआ है ना, the single biggest explanation of factor evidence varying strength of the consumer इसमें क्या है, थोड़ा डाउट सा लग रहा है. लाइक करो, सेशन करो. So ये हो सकता है. Yes guys, yes कौन सा हो सकता है?
Okay, question. Quickly. Okay, what do you think? बताओ. Ruma says B. Any other option?
D.
युमा ने थर्ड का भी आंसर दे दिया डी. Okay, any other option?
हाँ कृपया इसका करें तो हाँ
खाना खा कर पढ़ना ठीक है खाना
कैसे
Come on, everyone. All those are watching. जल्दी बताओ guys. Sia, Saurav, Darshana, Vivek, TK, Pritam, everyone. Okay, 2 के लिए you want to go with D.
हाँ उसका डी हो गया
Okay, और 3 के लिए चलो. 3 is a weakening question. You have to weaken that consumers are armed with information. Passage में दिया है कि consumers have a lot of expectations and at the same time that they have a lot of information at their behest. तो वो information के कारण वो लोग मतलब सब कुछ जल्दी से compare कर लेते हैं, decide कर लेते हैं. Okay. Now you have to weaken the fact that consumers are armed with information. तो हमको उसका opposite करना है. Okay, third के लिए पीछे says D, Sakshi D. What about the others?
सी इसका सी ऑप्शन
You don't need to go back to the passage specifically for this because argument उन्होंने दे दिया है. इसको ही हमको weaken करना है. Come on. D. Okay. Fine. Chalo. Last 2 questions. Which of the following can be
from the last paragraph of the passage industries fancy nameplate fancy nameplate sure भी ऑप्शंस का ठीक है ना
from the last paragraph of the passage? Okay, some industries fancy nameplate. I'll take you back to the passage for this, but एक बार options देख लो. Insert from the last paragraph. The last para is also called the ultimate para. Okay, I'll take you back to the passage for this. ये पूरा para. So this the summary. That you would have written for this para will come in handy. otherwise identical product just because it has a fancy nameplate or just because it has a brand. If you offer something really different, then yes, they will pay a premium. Otherwise, just for a fancy nameplate, if your product is just as identical as the cheap competitors, they are not going to pay a high premium any longer. Okay, question. Chalo.
तो सी ऑप्शन का ठीक है mental shortcuts and is seen in the D option. Brands are less needed as a mental shortcut.
The options are a little tricky here. Be very careful.
C और D इन दोनों में से कोई होगा. बताइएगा इस क्या हो सकता है इसका आंसर. आप भी कमेंट कर सकते हो.
Navigate it. Come on. Question 1 आप B बोल रहे हो. Okay. इसका क्या है? A और C. Okay, I'll consider.
C option.
चलिए, quickly guys, come on. Okay, and the last one, consumer loyalty has taken a beating lately due to all of the following reasons except, this is an exception question. Easy है. Which of the following is not mentioned in the passage as a reason?
Consumer loyalty has taken a beating lately. बड़ी चीज़ें ला रही है. मौका 20-30 वगैरह पर का करूँगा कई बार.
Why consumer loyalty has taken a beating or it has declined? Come on. 5 आप बोल रहे हो 2. ओके, 4 को स्किप किया. 5D. ठीक है, चलिए. ओके, वेरी गुड गाइस. आई थिंक अबाउट 5 में से ऑलमोस्ट 2-3 सबको सही मिले हैं. बाकी 1-2 क्वेश्चन है जिसमें थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम आया है. चलिए देखते हैं. Okay, so this is, I'll quickly summarize the passage for you. So it's talking about branding, okay, and it's saying that it's really become paradoxical now because
it's like
it's not because
subscribe
consumers'
करो.
loyalty have really shifted, okay. Consumers काफी shift कर चुके हैं. पहले 2, 3, 4, 10 साल तक people used to expect that they would stick with the brand. but now even for a year, it's difficult. So the purpose of this para is basically to highlight the paradox. And he also says it's not like I'm branding में ज़्यादा रुपए खर्च करूँ and clever logo, and he actually says it's a waste of money. Okay, why? Because he says consumers have become more promiscuous and fickle than ever. Okay, their mind keeps on changing. Okay, and they're not that loyal anymore. So this para tells that consumer loyalty has declined. Brands are no longer what they were. Brands do not command a premium just because of their name. Okay, consumers have become fickle. Second para gives us the explanation for fragile brands. So one point is amount of information available. Okay. Second point is, they're basically talking about that they've become very harsh in their expectations. Okay, उनके expectations काफी stringent हो चुके हैं. Consumers have become far more willing to experiment with products. Why? Because because of the amount of information that they have, everything is easily available. The opinions. Okay, welcome to what have you done for me lately economy. So it's like, it's not like, okay, you're a brand, so I will pay the premium. No, what have you done for me? And that too lately. So the companies have to be constantly on their toes if they want to keep their customers. Okay, good evening, Vedmitra. So this basically mentions the reasons. Okay, I'll first attack this paragraph.
आज पूरे तुम परफॉर्मेंस कर रहा कुछ आज.
Except, guys, if you look at the second paragraph, they've mentioned that there's a surplus of information. They mentioned that consumers have become very, 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 harsh in their expectations. Fastidious also means आप बहुत ही strict हो चुके हो, बहुत ही scrupulous हो चुके हो. You're paying a lot of attention to detail. Better value offered by not so well-known brands. Again, competitors are there, but they've not mentioned increase in spending capacity.
हाँ उड़ गया.
Consumers are able to experiment not because of their spending capacity, because of the surplus information that is available. So this you've got it right. The answer option is B. It is not because spending capacity too lately. So the companies have to be constantly on their toes if they want to keep their customers. Okay. So you not okay. Go skip that. Okay. And the last one. Okay. So the summary that you would have written for this para will come in handy. Savvy consumers are no longer willing to pay. And the last one, consumer loyalty has taken a beat. तो question है जिसमें थोड़ा सा problem आया है. चलिए देखते हैं. Okay, so this para is basically gives us the explanation for fragile brands. So everything is easy. Paragraph. They've mentioned that there's a surplus of information. They've mentioned that consumers have become very, 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 harsh in their expectations. Fastidious also means आप बहुत ही strict हो चुके हो, बहुत ही scrupulous हो चुके हो. You're paying a lot of attention to detail. Better value offered by not so well-known brands. Again, competitors are there, but they've not mentioned increase in spending capacity. And consumers are able to experiment not because of this. This you've got it right. The answer option is correct. तो ये आपका सही था. चलिए. Now let's go to the last paragraph. The last paragraph talks about if the products are identical. Okay. For example, जैसे कि ये टेलीविजन स्क्रीन स्टेरियोज वगैरह में हो रहा है, गिज़मोज में हो रहा है. अगर आप genuinely innovative products दोगे, then you can capture the market share. But just because you have a fancy nameplate and you're just giving an identical product, nobody is going to pay for your brand. Okay, so let's see this fourth question. Brands have a reduced role as a quality signal. Guys, listen. Yes, I'll help you, Darshana. See, if you look at the question, this is one question that most of you have got wrong. Okay, so I'll help you answer this question. See, आप लोगों ने बोला है A या C. So, brands have a reduced role. Answer is A. Okay. Brands have a reduced role as a quality signal. Just because it's a brand, just because let's say it's an Apple or a Samsung or let's say Louis Vuitton or whatever, just because that brand name is there, that does not assure quality. Okay, brand is just reduced now to a fancy nameplate. It's not a signal of quality. Answer is A. The job of brands is to assure customers about the quality. Now, the author does not tell us anything about what brands should do. This side of this recommendation is not there. Consumers are becoming more rational and need brands less. Now, consumers are becoming more rational. Fine, they're becoming more rational. Need brands less. It's not that they need brands less, guys. And that consumers are becoming more rational. Point is more so there in the second paragraph than in the third paragraph. It's not that they need brands less. They can need them. Okay, brands can be there as long as brands give you something innovative. It's not like they're going with non-branded stuff only. No. It's about branding ka innovation or a quality signal. Brands are mental shortcut irrelevant. So here the answer option will be A. Clear? Okay. Chali. This I think most of you have got it right. Consumers are armed with information. उसको हमको weaken करना है. Means consumers are not armed with information. अब arm का मतलब है it's not just that you have the information, but that information is your strength. So now we have to weaken it, saying that नहीं information नहीं है ज़्यादा या consumer ज़्यादा उसका use नहीं करते हैं या वो ज़्यादा consumers को benefit नहीं करता है या वो less useful है. So correct. The answer option is D. Customers are lazier and reviews are less useful than the seers assume. Okay, fear मतलब जो जो predicting what's going to happen. A. Current mantras about branding and loyalty lose their relevance when consumers base their decisions on reviews. ये बोल रहा है कि उनके पास information है. They are basing their decision on reviews. Consumers have come to expect decent products at good prices. इसमें information के बारे में कुछ mention ही नहीं है, so this is irrelevant. Website make it easier. This is strengthening. Okay. Option A and C are somewhat strengthening. So the only option which says अरे information जरूरी नहीं है या information नहीं है उनके पास या वो लोग उसका कोई use नहीं करते या useful नहीं है information, that is D. Okay. So yes, answer option is D. So far so good. Okay. Now the question that you've gone mostly wrong in is the second question, which is a parallel reasoning question. Now understand the paradox of branding. Okay, first let's go back to the passage and understand the paradox of branding. The paradox is clearly, what is the paradox mentioned here? Even as companies have spent enormous amount of time and energy introducing new brands and defending established ones, Americans have become less loyal. Obsession with brands is their weakness. Matlab branding is basically, just because you're a brand, consumers are not going to be obsessed with you anymore. Or consumers are not going to stick with you anymore. Or consumers are not going to be loyal to you anymore. Right? Chalo, options पे. Kellogg's tried and tested imagery. Gas proved its worth by planting brands in consumers' mind. This option is in favor of branding. ये बोल रहा है कि ब्रांड सक्सेसफुली कंज्यूमर्स के दिमाग में बसा है. ब्रांड वर्कड. Tried and tested branding worked. Okay, so this is in favor of branding. but हमको इसका paradox दिखाना है, right? हमको contradiction दिखाना है. Retailers like Zara and H&M make their own cheap but nice designer knockoffs. But this is nothing, मतलब ये आधा अधूरा ऑप्शन है. इसमें हमको ये नहीं बोला है कि वो पॉपुलर है, नहीं पॉपुलर है, कंज्यूमर्स का उनके प्रति क्या रिएक्शन है, आर कंज्यूमर्स लॉयल टू देम, नॉट लॉयल टू देम. इसमें कंज्यूमर रिएक्शन इज मिसिंग, राइट? Cyberhome, maker of absurdly cheap DVD players, has knocked off Sony. अब ये देखो, एक कोई नया player, some new brand has come and de-seated or knocked off Sony. So this is a contradiction, right? कि Sony जैसा brand knock off हो चुका है. That means consumers are not loyal. Obsession with brands is not real anymore. It's C, guys. An established brand like Sony has been knocked off by a cheap or probably unknown competitor. Apple's computers command only a little more loyalty from buyers than do customers and less ballyhooed makers. Ballyhooed मतलब बड़ा चढ़ा के praise कर करके हल्ला गुल्ला वाला. But still, the problem is this. It still commands, right? Commands only a little more loyalty, but command तो कर रहा है ना. फिर भी
India is
Apple
like
थोड़ा
करे
सा तो और
subscribe
loyal
करे
है ना
channel.
इसके लिए. See, it's not mentioned little. Little होता मतलब hardly any, almost zero. A little दिया है, a little मतलब फिर भी कुछ है. फिर भी brand के लिए थोड़ी loyalty है. So ये तो अगर हम
C
C और D
option.
compare करेंगे, which is completely like contradictory or paradoxical about branding is C. D फिर भी बोल रहा है कि हाँ Apple एक brand होने के कारण. Okay. Yes, wait. So in the passage, they have mentioned a paradox. कि brands are not working anymore, or branding, that obsession with branding has reduced, or just because you're a brand, people will buy you. ठीक है, उसको बोला है कि वो गलत है. That's a contradiction. Now you have to select an option which gives the best example that okay, branding is not necessarily working.